finishing off the year strong with one of my favorite things, lists. Howdy y'all, I'm Mickey. Here we are at the end of 2024 and the end of my attempt at the 12 days of Vlogmas. I know that technically day 11 and day 12 are being posted on the same day, but it kind of works because they're like two halves of the same concept. And don't ask about day 10. Day 10 died in a horrible accident. Sorry. But two-part finale. Yes, it's two halves of the same idea. The first half, looking back on and reflecting on 2024, and the second half, looking into 2025, looking forward and finding new things to be excited by. This is the first half. 24 things I liked about 2024. There's a list, but it's in the order that I remembered things, not in order of importance. 1. I went to several cons this year. Usually Jack and I just go to MegaCon, but we went to MegaCon, Ancient City Con, and Tampa Bay Comic Con this year, and it was fun to do cons outside of Orlando and get to see some new venues and some new con experiences. 2. I put as a separate point, but is related to the cons thing. This year I did more of the going up to the celebrity booths and talking to them and getting autographs than I normally do at cons. I saw Brandon Rogers and Bryce Pinkham and had them sign a Stolitz print, which I don't think is in frame here, but it's that print over there. Had the both of them sign it, so it's a Stolitz print signed by Stolitz. I also got a Sun and Moon Pop signed by Kellen Goff because I love the daycare attendant. And so exciting, the birthday gift from my mom. I got a 3PO Pop signed by Anthony Daniels. I got to meet Anthony Daniels. I got to meet the actual C-3PO. And if you didn't know, C-3PO is unironically my favorite Star Wars character, and I collect so much stuff about 3PO, and that was thrilling, honestly. 3. While in Tampa for Tampa Bay Comic Con, Jack and I went to Busch Gardens, which I haven't been to since I was really little. We got to see so many fun animals, we got to pet kangaroos, and my roller coaster count went up quite a bit. It was really fun to add a bunch of new rides to my list of rides I've done, including Scorpion, which closed like a week after we went. We didn't know that thing was shutting down, we just got in it. It was so much fun, even if Iron Gwazi did kind of mess me up for the day. 4. Somewhere Beyond the Sea, the sequel to House in the Cerulean Sea, came out this year, as well as House in the Cerulean Sea merch. That's my favorite book, so getting another book and merch to represent it was very fun. My mom got me the sweater for Christmas. Thank you, Mother. 5. Earlier this year, Jack and I went to a Broadway rave. On our mindset of trying to do new things and push ourselves kind of outside of our comfort zone, we thought that a Broadway rave might accomplish that. And it was actually a lot of fun. Really crowded, and not the type of scene that Jack and I usually find ourselves in, but the Broadway, you know, we were into that part. And the club aspect of it felt a lot less intimidating when there were several men walking around in Revolutionary era full regalia. Nothing calms you down quite like seeing Alexander Hamilton cutting through the room followed by a newsie. 6. I know we just did it, but ICE was a lot of fun, and it's something that I wanted to do for a while, so I'm really happy that we did it this year. I like seeing fun little temporary art pieces, and I like seeing art that isn't always traditional art, though I do like traditional art as well. But you know, having fun with medium, and ice sculptures fit pretty up there, and we don't have a lot of ice sculptures in Florida, seeing as it's way too hot for it. So a giant ice sculpture experience was really fun to do. 7. Getting back into doing YouTube videos again. I have a lot of fun doing this, sitting here, chatting to a camera by myself in a room. yapping at y'all. It's fun, and I'm glad that I feel like I kind of have the spark for it back. 8. This one might sound a little weird, but I'm happy that I started and ended the year in the same home. I moved out of my parents' place at 18, and in the 6 years since, that has only happened in 2 of them. This is the 2nd year that we've started and ended same place. We've moved a lot. It's nice to chillax sometimes and just feel like I'm able to kind of establish roots and feel like a place is allowed to be my home for more than just a little bit. It's nice to get comfortable somewhere. 9. The Dan and Phil Terrible Influence Tour. Drew cat whiskers on my face and went to go see Dan and Phil with my friends. That was a lot of fun. It was a really fun experience with my friends, and it was a really fun experience just with other people. It was the first event that I'd done like the friendship bracelet trading thing that's been, more popular recently. I traded friendship bracelets for other bracelets or for like little keychains and other little tokens. I chatted with other friends. It was a fun community experience. 10. I said 2024 was a good year for music. I discovered a lot of songs that I really liked. I liked some of the stuff that was blowing up, like Chapel Roan. Epic the Musical updated with several sagas this year. And it concluded a few days ago. Overall, I just really liked the music that was coming out and that I was finding in 2024. Good year for music. Speaking of things I discovered this year, 11. This year, I discovered Hell of a Boss. Got peer pressured by my TikTok For You page into watching Has Been in like February. And then into March, I'm like, I might as well watch the other show in this universe. And everything changed. I learned about the existence of my bestest friend, Fizzerali. The rest is history. 12. Weirdly enough, this year was the first time that I actually went to Typhoon Lagoon and was actually able to do the slides and stuff because we didn't get stormed out. I don't know why. I hadn't done it before. I tried it once. Lightning. You can't go on the water park when there's lightning. And then I just never tried again. But one of our friends invited me and Jack to go hang out with her at Typhoon, and it was a lot of fun. That wave pool is a lot. But it's a blast, and we went multiple times. And now I've got it in mind that that is something fun we can do over the summer. I still have never done Blizzard before. But I get cold really easily, and it's only open in the cold months. We'll see if maybe a mysterious heat wave hits. Maybe I'll try it. 13. My absolute favorite movie, Luca, came out in theaters. It was originally released on streaming because it came out in 2021 and there were still kind of lockdowns. So this year was its actual first theatrical release, along with Turning Red and Soul. It was a whole thing Pixar was doing of releasing direct-to-streaming movies in theaters for the first time. I saw Luca in theaters more than once. Added to the tally of how many times I saw that movie this year. It was great. I absolutely loved seeing it on a big screen. And shout out to the guy who was sitting next to me and Jack while the end credits were rolling, who just heard me info dumping about all sorts of stuff related to the movie and thought I was entertaining. Hi, I have put potentially way too much thought into this kid's Pixar film, and I will continue to do so. 14, I know I mentioned it before in the music section, but Epic the Musical gets its own shout out here. I've had so much fun following along with each release, and Jack and I listening to the sagas the day they were released in the car, and listening to this most recent saga and feeling super emotional during Would You Fall in Love with Me Again. I'm still sad that my boy Polites died so early on, but he haunted the narrative, and that's what matters. I love a good musical, I love a good Greek mythology. Put them together, I'm probably there. 15 is kind of vague, but it's covering a bunch of stuff at once. I put new experiences with friends. I love hanging out with my friends, obviously. A lot of fun to see them, to get to do fun things together. And it's fun to do the normal things you're used to doing with them and to do new experiences. Like doing a theme park day versus going and doing in like 85-minute long haunted escape room. The escape room was a lot of fun, and I did accidentally solve one of the puzzles, which I thought was pretty funny. Very, very much an accident. Very much accidentally set off an audio cue. Oops. It got us out, didn't it? 16. I'm happy, proud of myself for mostly following through on my resolution at the beginning of the year to walk over 2 miles every day, because I did it so far to today every day except for 21 of them. And a lot of those 21 days were ones where I was otherwise occupied, like hanging out with family and stuff, where I was just kind of in the house doing stuff. But I'm happy that I stayed active and stayed pretty successful on my goal. 17. I've had fun with Jack keeping up with other media, not Hell of a Boss and Epic, which I already mentioned, but media that we've been into for a while, keeping up as all of that's been updating. So like Doctor Who, and like the various Star Wars things that came out this year. It's fun to have these things that we can just keep coming back to in different forms. Shout out to endless sci-fi media. 18, kind of related to the media that we like, particularly Star Wars. Had Jack and I pose with lightsabers to get a picture of us for their like website, their Facebook page, showing off their different lightsabers. So I got to pose with a fun little mint lightsaber in a Rain Whispers cosplay. I don't know. I thought that was fun. 19. I got Wormerolly and a bunch of other just fun little trinkets for myself. A clown worm, a little stuffed balloon dog. I just have fun buying little things that spark joy in my heart. I love silly little things. 20. Cookie Clicker. The new update. All of the fun, heavenly upgrades, and all of the holidays. I got that reindeer achievement, by the way. I hit all of the reindeers I needed. And I also got a shiny Wrinkler to get that shadow achievement for popping one. I've had this game for like 4.5 years. I'm excited about the shiny Wrinkler achievement, okay? Thrilling times in the Cookie Clicker fandom. 21, I put The Wild Robot came out. I loved The Wild Robot. It was beautiful, it was visually stunning, it was emotionally breathtaking. It made me feel things. And, that, you know, that's a pretty big accomplishment there. I experienced an emotion from a movie, which ranks it pretty high up there for me. It was just amazing. It was such a good movie. I'm so happy we went and saw it. 22. This year was the first year that Jack joined me for Halloween Horror Nights. We like to say that Jack and I are kind of the same person, except he's not so scary and I'm Halloween Horror Nights. And I think the concept still applies, but for a while I was the only one who actually did Horror Nights. He was nervous, and then this year just impromptu decided to join our group and come with us for the first year. I think this year was probably a good year to get used to it, because the houses weren't that scary this year, except for the Insidious one. But it was a lot of fun to do it together, and it means that in 2025, when they start revealing information about the houses and like the theming and stuff, I can keep him up to date on it, and then he'll actually like care about what I'm talking about, because it'll be something that we're both doing. 23. Jack and I went to an esoteric shop in Orlando, Prometheus Esoterica, which does like fun themes throughout the year, but they did Camp Cryptid this year over the summer. It was like a summer camp that was cryptid themed. We went, we saw so many fun and like kind of creepy things, which I love. And we got sorted into little cryptid cabins, and Jack got Mothman, and I got the Loch Ness Monster, which are our favorite cryptids. And then I bought a book on the proof behind the Loch Ness Monster, which I'm not going to get out of its little display, but it's on my little Scotland display over there. I love cryptids and I love creepy little oddity shops, and that experience was like the best of both. And the last thing I have on here, number 24, was that Jack and I went to this theme park trivia at a nearby arcade. It was done in 3 rounds, and while Jack and I didn't win any of the individual rounds, we did score within the top 3 overall for the whole game. One of the questions was about the Smiler at Alton Towers, which got me hyped. Alton Towers is like my dream theme park vacation, and I love the Smiler. I love a fictional cult. Anyway, we got within the top 3, and it gave us all-you-could-play games for an hour, and Jack and I are thrilling people, so we spent an hour playing pinball. At a later date, I set up like a little account to keep track of my pinball scores. It's like on the internet, and you can scan QR codes, and you get to keep track of your pinball scores. I really like pinball. That's my go-to. You ever find me at an arcade, go look in the pinball section. That's where I am. That's what I liked about 2024. I played a lot of pinball. Not enough, though. There could always be more pinball. And those were 24 things that I liked in 2024. I think it's easy to kind of get caught up in just the monotony of life and kind of just drifting from one thing to another. And I think it's nice to take some time, especially I find myself doing this at the end of each year, to remember specific things that were fun, that were good about each year. Nice things that you experienced that weren't just part of the humdrum of the same routine life. Even if those things are pinball and cookie clicker. It's something good, something to smile about, which is always a plus. Stick around later for the second half of this video where I look into things that I'm excited for in 2025. I had a bit more difficulty with that list than this one. Oops. But it's fine, I got there eventually. Probably. Who knows? For now, shortly, this is it. Ciao!